Stories are anything you want them to be. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Kenechi Udogu, and it's titled Brief Lives. I'm so sorry. Jidenna apologized as he stretched out his hand to help the woman who had fallen. That's okay. I should have been paying more attention. She smiled up at him, taking his hand and pulling herself up. The moment her hand touched his open palm, Jidenna felt a slight jolt and had to steady himself. In the next few seconds, he saw it all. Their first date was a cheesy affair at an Italian restaurant he knew well. They had too much wine, but were restrained enough to save their first kiss for the second date, which was a less contrived meeting at a live act bar where an obscure band they both liked was playing. She made him laugh a lot, and he could not get over how soft her thick locks were when he finally got a chance to run his fingers through them. When he met her mother and sister, he realized her sparkly eyes were one of many strong family traits, and he prayed they would stay together long enough for him to be blessed with children who would share in that gene pool. They did. On the day their son was born, Mommy! The cry snapped Jidenna back to reality. I'm all right, honey. Mommy just had a little accident, the woman said, bending to pick up a little girl who had run across the busy shopping mall towards her. Bibi, are you all right? A heavy-set man in horn-rimmed glasses chased after the girl and came to stand beside them. I'm fine. I just wasn't looking. Jidenna slipped away silently. By the time the woman turned to look for him, he'd entered the store he'd been heading to before the collision. There goes another one, he thought, with a sad smile as he wondered what else he could have glimpsed if the little girl had not interrupted his trance. Thanks for shopping with us today. The girl behind the counter handed him his receipt with a coy wink after he paid for his purchase. Jidenna tried to avoid her hand as he took the paper from her, but it was clear she meant to touch him. Perhaps that was her usual mode of innocent flirtation, but for him, it was a sensual assault. He knew he should have asked her to place the receipt in the bag because once her fingers made contact with his skin, everything played out before him. A brief vision of the life he could have had with her. A brisk shake of his head and the vision disappeared. He wondered if the day would come when he would meet the person whose future with him would remain unseen. When he met her, he knew she would be the one he had a chance of making a fresh start with. He sighed and left the shop, starting his long walk home. For now, he would hold on to hope and the haunting memories of the many lives he could have lived. Nigerian-born and England-based, Kenechi Udogu is an author and architect whose writing centers on culturally diverse characters in sci-fi, horror, and fantasy fiction genres. Her protagonists are predominantly females who stand strong in challenging conditions. Kenechi has written several books. Paperback and digital copies of all her books are available to purchase on the major online platforms. I have read and thoroughly enjoyed, I believe, all her books, and I am currently working on the audiobook version of one of her books, The Yampo Club, which is a story about boarding school life set in the early 90s. The audiobook will be published before the year runs out. Fun fact, Kenechi and I met at boarding school, and we've remained friends. You can connect with Kenechi on Twitter at Kenechi Udogu. And for more of her short stories, head to kblogs, C-A-E blogs, that's one word, kblogs.wordpress.com. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Osadunibi. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, tell a friend that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.